welcome back to the SC Classics YouTube channel. In this episode I'll be putting the engine and gearbox in Scarlet, the tarmac arched red MK2 Escort. It's the mystery engine. I've been keeping it a bit of a secret, but I'll finally let you in on the secret. I won't keep you waiting any longer. I have been getting lots of messages, people asking what it's actually having, so curiosity is probably getting the better of you. I will let you in on a little secret. The engine and gearbox is already in the car, but don't tell anyone. I'd actually forgot to film an intro, so the engine and gearbox is already in. Here's the intro. Make it magic. What I'll do though, what you'll notice is I'm slightly less hurry whilst filming the rest of the video, but just ignore that. Pretend it never happened. So 1, 2, 3. This episode I'm going to be concentrating on getting Scarlet's engine in the bay, the mystery engine. You finally get to see what it is. The engine, gearbox, exhaust manifold, throttle bodies, get them all in so we can start cracking on with the build. So yesterday I decided it's time to get some work done on Scarlet, so I swapped it, got Nora off the ramp, Scarlet's on. I stripped out the old, this had all the standard 1300 running gear, struts, cross member, roll bar, all that stuff. Stripped the cross member, roll bar, steering rack, TCAs, all out, ready for the, where is it? Let me just moved that a little bit too fast for the gimbal, can't keep up. Ready for the new motor. There's all the old suspension out, wheels are off it. I'm going to be mounting the sequential soon and getting the engine and gearbox in. Now I haven't told you what the engine is, but some of you are going to recognise that bell housing straight away. I'm not going to tell you just yet, you'll have to keep watching the video to find out what engine it's having. Yeah, there she is, all covered up, ready to go. So yeah, next job will be mounting the gearbox, mounting the World Cup cross member and engine mounts, and getting it in the bay. So I'll quickly show you what I've been up to on Scarlet. So we got, where are we? Picked up some inserts from Race. I think it's Race and competition equipment in Stoke. Picked up some 370 inserts, Bilstein inserts, along with the base and top mounts and locking collars. Also picked up some rose jointed adjustable TCAs, some longer steering arm bolts, and a brand new World Cup cross member and mounts, and the bushes, outer roll bar bushes. Now ignore the trapper end, this is just to get it rolling. That's going along with the steering rack and the roll bar, because they'll be having a quick rack, they'll be having a brand new roll bar because that's a bit shot as well, a bit wore out. It's literally just to get it rolling and off the ramp. Just want to thank the lads Chris and Phil, I think it was, at Race. Helped me out, sorted me out with the bits I needed. Everything just bolted on, brilliant. Couldn't ask for more. So it's good to finally see if it's proper struts on there instead of the old 1300 ones. I've had it sat on its wheels. I'll put the wheels back on it in a minute and show you. It actually looks really good. I have got the engine and box in there. It's covered up at the minute while I was working on it, but I will show you it by the end of this video. It's I've got the engine on the cross member. Sadly the bell housing's touching on one corner of the edge of the tunnel lower bulkhead, and it's also hard up against the one side of the tunnel, and I also had to cut the top of the tunnel out to clear the front of the gearbox and the shifter. So it's looking like it's going to have a lot of fabrication on the tunnel. I don't want to fit a big tunnel because they are far too big for what we need, and I don't think they look very nice. So I'm going to work something out. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, I'm still in planning, but I'll work something out. But Quite pleased with the new stoppers on there, new struts, looking good. But I'll get it down on its wheels and show you what it looks like at ride height, or something like ride height. It's literally just sort of set up to be level. I'm quite pleased with that. All bolted together nice. Like I say, Phil and Chris sorted me out. Good lads, lots of experience, so they know what they're talking about. And they was an hour away, so I just jumped in the van, shot over there, took a strut casing with me and a top mount as well, because we've got these spherical top mounts, and they just sorted me out with everything, so they just pulled together perfect. That's what comes with experience. They've been doing it far longer than I have. I think they started in the early 80s, mid 80s, so they know what they're talking about. And they build some top rally cars too, so yeah, that experience shows. Good lads. Yeah, I've got it sat on its wheels. Looking a bit better than nose high it was before with the old suspension on. Actually, really impressed with that, it looks quite good. I'll show you inside. You'll notice there's a ratchet strap up to the cage. That's currently holding, that's the rear gearbox mount at the minute, because the tunnel's cut out for the sequential. Like I said, this driver's side seems to be touching on the side of the gearbox, so we're going to have to alter that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. And it's bottom corner down there, it needs to be addressed as well, because it's touching on the bell housing. And obviously the bulkhead top needs to be refabricated, lifted further up, but I'm yet to decide. I'm going to have to mock something up, make something out of cardboard and see which looks best, what works best. And obviously I need to know what height it needs to go in at. I'm waiting for the customer to drop the exhaust manifold off an exhaust system, which usually gives you a good indication of what height the engines should be at. It's looking good, it's looking quite mean. So I finally revealed to you the engine. As you can see, it's a YB, 205 block YB. It's, I don't know the true spec of it, all I know is it's 2.4, all steel, dry sump, roller barrel throttle bodies, coil and plug, probably a lot more. I haven't seen the full spec sheet for it yet, but it was built by Turbo Sports. It's been engine dynoed and made 300 horsepower on Emu Black Series. So yeah, it's an impressive bit of kit. Not sure this is going to stay. It looks a bit, yeah, it's very impressive. It's good in the bay, been dying to see it in the bay. As you can see, it's not sat straight, and that's because the back end needs to come across, but it can't because it's touching on the tunnel. But once we get that tunnel cut out, should straighten things up. Trigger wheel on the bottom end, on the bottom pulley for the Emu, dry sump pump. It's nice, some impressive work on it. And it should go well in this little Escort. Got our new top mounts in. I'm going to swap these bolts. Don't like these stainless bolts. Get them swapped for something a bit stronger. Yeah. New cross member and mounts in. That's going to be coming out and getting powder coated or painted. It's just for mock up at the time being. So, a progress update on Scarlet, because I can't remember the last video whether I had the engine gearbox in or not. I can't remember what I'm up to. It's been a crazy week. Last week I was getting the engine and gearbox in, getting it on its proper suspension and getting the gearbox in. Now, not a lot further along because we had some problems with engine mounts, but I'll show you what I've been doing anyway. So basically, I got the engine and gearbox in, got it on its mounts, and let me just get a toy. That's it, it's done. Yeah, basically got the engine and gearbox in on its mounts, but the engine was sitting sort of on an angle. The front pulley was over this way. I thought, well, I've seen some pictures, done a bit of research and lots of pictures, and all sitting at funny angles, and okay, maybe that's the way it is. I'd settle for it, that's how it's going to be, until the owner Rob dropped the exhaust manifold off on Monday, and I come to fit it and it wouldn't fit. Now it's a nice Simpson multi-piece, you know, all spring connectors, so you've got your first bit to the primary, then the second piece, and then springs. Basically it's a 4 into 2 into 1, but they're all on swivels and spring joints, so there's lots of places they could be, but wherever I tried setting it, it would not fit with the chassis leg. So what I had to do was take the engine mounts off. If you know a World Cup Cross member, or just MK2 Escort in general, one engine mount's longer than the other. Now as a rule, on a Pinto engine, it's always long left. So you sit in the car, the left-hand engine mount, the passenger side in this car, would be the longer one. So that's how I fitted them on this car. It's also how Phil at Race told me it was meant to be, actually written on the engine mount driver's side. So I fitted them how I thought they would and how Ian told me they would be. Now that sat the engine over to this side. The exhaust manifold wouldn't fit. I've since got the engine lifted, swapped the engine mounts to the opposite to what I thought they'd be and what Phil said they'd be. Now the engine is sitting, you can see, bang in the centre, and the exhaust manifold now fits, clears the chassis leg. I did have some problem with clearance on the bell housing because it's got an RS2000 bell housing. On the side of the bell housing it has like an eye for the clutch cable to mount and go through. Now obviously this is going to be a hydraulic clutch, so that is redundant, and the exhaust manifold wouldn't fit with that on, so I've had to remove a piece of it just while I'm trial fitting. Exhaust manifold fits. So when I get the engine and gearbox out, that can be welded up, you know, cut back further, get it welded up, problem solved. But that's what I'm up to. It's in, it's mounted, exhaust manifold fits. I'm quite happy with all the clearances everywhere. I'm yet to set the gearbox height. I've got the gearbox set round about where it wants to be. I've had to cut a load out the tunnel. I was originally just going to take the top out of it, but then we was having trouble with clearances on the side of the tunnel as well, so now it just makes sense to put a big tunnel in it. So I've got a big tunnel ordered. I'm gonna, once that lands, I'm gonna start measuring up, get a gearbox mount made to the floor, brace the floor up for it, get a big tunnel in there, and it'll also have to fabricate a riser to suit the gear stick, but I'll crack on with that as soon as the tunnel arrives. Didn't really want to fit a tunnel in it, but it just makes sense because obviously that orange cap is the filler for the gearbox. So once the gearbox tunnel's in, there's no point making a tight gearbox tunnel because then we won't be able to fill it. So it just makes sense to put a big gearbox tunnel in it. So that's the update for Scarlet. That's as far as we're up to at the minute. I'll be filming more as soon as the tunnel lands, get the rest of it chopped out, get it welded in. It's also going to be having oh Christ, can't talk, seat mounts for bucket seats. They really should have been welded in before they were painted, but it wasn't, so they're going to have to be put in. I'm also thinking of putting the rear seat brace is missing. It goes across the tunnel, the link mounts up to the link boxes, so it looks a bit unfinished without that, and while I'm doing fabrication and paint work in there, might as well do that too. And I'm also going to fit a rear bulkhead because this has an alley fuel cell in the back, so the last thing you want is fuel vapours coming in the car, so I want to seal all the rear bulkhead up, get that proper as well. So while I'm doing paint work and fab work in there, I might as well do the lot, and then it's done, it's right. So that's what I'm up to. Engine's in, looking good, manifold's in. I'll be back on this as soon as the tunnel turns up. Look at that, lovely. So there you have it. Scarlet's got an engine and gearbox, 2.4, naturally aspirated, dry sump, all steel, all singing, all dancing, cosy, or YB, cosy, whatever you want to call it, and 60G sequential quake transmission. So yeah, should be a bit of a stonker. Anyway, I'm gonna crack on because it's 20 past 8 at night and I want to do some work on Nora. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. If you haven't already done so, sorry, I'm just distracted. The spiders just walked down behind the camera. If you haven't already done so, like, subscribe, share, you know, all helps. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.